Hello, Del Ballou back for another session in mixed media with the hibiscus. I have done some painting, some drawing since last we met, and I'm going to continue that excuse me, today. And I'm going to continue to work on the leaves and the leaf patterns. In the photograph, there aren't very many leaves that are visible. They're mostly in shadow, as you can see. So I'm pretty much having to make things up as I go along. So having done some of these darker areas last evening, I'm going to sort of clarify them a bit. And these don't have to be necessarily representational. They can be a bit abstract as they get further into the shadows. And also, as they get closer somewhat to the flower, because there won't be anything much for the other colors that come down over them if need be. And as I've said on a couple of occasions, excuse me, it's really important to try to make the mark that you want to be there. That's the best case scenario. If you've had a chance to look at Edgar Degas, excuse me, I haven't been up long this morning. If you have looked at Edgar Degas and Mary Cassatt, their application of pastels is pretty much in one direction. I tend to go in whatever direction my object is going, and however I need to apply that. But their colors, though they have a variety of colors in every square inch, they are leaning more toward a stroke that is in the same direction. So you do that if you like. It's up to you. What I'm attempting to do in this little video series is, number one, to give you some idea how you can use pastels to salvage your watercolor, in addition to a few little technical details about, about painting in general, and about using the pastels effectively. Okay, as long as I have light in this room from outside, I'm going to be working on this. I've already shown you the finished work. So now in my taping, I'm going back to this part, which I'm going to be using this blending tool, which is, well, I think it's called a stump, but I'm not absolutely sure. But the purpose in the stump is for blending, and in some cases for removing color. I'm a little concerned in looking back over this flower that it's gotten a little bit too busy, but I don't want to completely do away with the work that I've done previously. I just want to simplify it a little bit. But all of these layers that I've put on in these different colors are lending themselves to a richness in this flower that I wouldn't have if I just did one layer of single colors with highlights, of course. And I'm looking at the shapes of my highlights and shadows now to get a better sense of how I can simplify this without eliminating all those nice highlights. Now, I remind you again, and I hope you don't get tired of my saying things over and over again, but the shapes of your shadows and highlights together make up the completed drawing or painting. But the main thing is no one, unless you show them, is going to see this actual Now I think I'm going to go back in with my darkest red and work on these. Now, because I'm working over the top of several layers, excuse me, where I've already I want you to notice what I mean by shapes of shadows. If you notice that this shadow on this petal is a bit rounded at the top, and then it comes down and makes a very obvious shape. The same is true over here, though this does blend a little bit more into the other part of the petal. And then this comes down right here. And although you do need to do shapes, you need to pay attention to the way the shapes move into other areas. For example, in this area, it feathers into the more highlighted area, but in this case, it's a little more of a solid color. And the same is true right next to that little upturned petal. And if you do that enough, before you know it, you're finished and you have a flower. I'm going to be using some dark blue in these areas that are most dark. Now, I'm not quite sure exactly what's going on with my videotaping right now, but I'm having a difficulty deciding what I'm doing here. So that's a good time for me to cut this videotaping off, and I will be back though. Hello, I'm back as promised. I have removed the masking tape, calling this finished, at least for now. And I wanted to point out a couple of things to you. One is that when I removed my masking tape, I actually pulled some of the painting away. It tore away. So when you're removing your masking tape, when it's all around, then you should remove it pulling away from the actual painting, and doing so very slowly. So I hope you have learned something from this 3-part series, and I hope you will check into some of my other videos, and also like, share, comment, and certainly subscribe to my channel. And I look forward to reading your comments, and I hope you enjoy painting with pastels. Thank you again for watching. Bye for now.